Hello, and welcome back to the Commander Cookout Podcast YouTube page. Today, Ryan, Brando, we're here to give you some helpful hints, advice, maybe, on starting or maintaining your own EDHNM group in your local area.
That's right. We just finished off the arc of EDHNM on Commander Cookout Podcast, and essentially the entire arc was based on our personal experience in our EDH Night Magic, where we took our friends and local playgroups' decks and said what we think a successful, fun, welcoming, inviting metagame looks like. If you don't have that, we have got 5 tips on what we think is a good way to start a local EDHNM experience, or in Brando's case, a couple things what not to do.
There are always things you should not do when you're trying to do anything.
Tip number 1, talk to local shops. If you don't have a local gaming store or an LGS, talk to restaurants, bars, or public access places that you and some of your friends can play in. If there is a cover charge, maybe that cover charge is in the form of, hey, if you want to use our restaurant's banquet room, you have to buy food. Well, maybe if you have 10, 12, 15 people, you pool $1 or $2 together and you can buy a plate of nachos and some drinks.
Something not to do is just show up with all your crap and start playing.
Some public places that would maybe be appropriate, and we'll touch on that in a second, but if you're going to play at a restaurant or a bar or a local gaming store, make sure they have space, make sure that they can accommodate a group of players, and by all means,
buy something.
Throwing them a few bucks in the form of drinks, nachos, it's a good way to do it. Our experience and research tells us that free places to play are going to be the most successful, but it doesn't have to be that way. Tip number 2, if you do have a public place to play, maybe a library, maybe a common room at a university, maybe the mall. I don't know if anybody plays in food courts at the mall anymore, but we can all imagine some public place where there's tables and chairs. Just go there and start playing. If you and your friends play, at a kitchen table, just try going out to a public place, even a McDonald's or what have you. Magic's popular enough that somebody will know what you're doing and maybe want to be involved, thereby growing your group.
Pro tip to keep in mind when doing this: if you're moving from the kitchen table to somebody else's table, remember not to wear pajamas and to put on some pants, because there are different rules when it comes to going from inside your own home into a business or public or somebody else's house.
That's good advice, actually. You know what? Just in general.
Yeah.
Personal hygiene and
pants.
I want to say presentableness, presentation of oneself goes a long way to help business owners understand that you are here for a specific reason and not just to loiter.
Show up to play Magic, not to take a fucking nap.
Tip 3.
Damn it.
Got there. Online presence. This could be in the form of a Facebook group, maybe a Discord channel if you're part of that, some kind of group chat, some kind of local scene that will allow people to join or see that people are talking about it on some public digital space.
Don't be an online internet D-bag that starts shitting on people for playing bad decks or playing slow or not doing what you want them to do, because that's going to encourage people to not show up to your game night.
You want this online space to be a place of inclusion so people want to come out physically and play Magic with you.
It's a lot harder to convince people to come out of their house and play Magic with you than it is to play online.
Tip 4. If for whatever reason you do need to...
I forgot to do my thing.
If for whatever reason you have the means to charge a $1 entry fee, take 100% of that money turn it back into door prizes. Nobody's trying to make money to play Magic here. We're not tournament organizers. We're trying to set up a local EDHNM group. Turn it right back into booster boxes, sleeves, prizes, random draws, something that's going to entice people to come or give people that extra little bit of encouragement to say, hey, I could win this free thing. I'm going to come out and play.
Random door prizes are best because it encourages people not to show up to scumbag tables by telling people that they built the deck in the car on the way over there and then Gitrog comboing them.
Tip 5. If you see or hear of any of these kinds of groups, if there's online people, if there's people at an LGS, just go out and play.
If somebody says, hey, come play Magic, go and play Magic.
Mm-hmm.
If you want there to be magic out in the world, you have to go out in the world where the magic is and play it. Just because you didn't organize or it wasn't your idea, it doesn't mean it sucks or it's weird or people are gonna like scumbag you or steal your stuff. Just go play.
Chances are there are other people who want to have a fun gameplay experience like you, and those people, as long as they're making a little bit of an effort, are gonna find each other. Whether that be in a digital place or a physical place like an LGS or a library or what have you. Those people are going to find each other, and when they do, they're going to have fun.
Hashtag, no stacks.
Hashtag, no stacks. So that's it. That's our 5 tips to starting your own local meta, your own EDHNM night. If you have any of your own tips that you'd like to share with your boys at Commander Cookout Podcast, you can get CCO Podcast, CCO Brando on Twitter, commandercookout@gmail.com, or you can find Commander Cookout Podcast, Commander Cookout on YouTube, and everything else Commander Cookout related at
commandercookout.com.
There it is. We'll see you guys there. Make sure to check out all the great Commander Cookout content coming up in 2020, and I think that's all we got.
Brr-brr.
Brr-brr.